Hello, Vinyl community, and welcome back to Mike's Vinyl Experience. Thank you so much for being with me here today. I appreciate each and every one of you so very much. Today, I have a short video I want to share with you on my acquisitions from this past Saturday's record store day. I really only had 3 or 4 that I really went out and was seeking to get, and I got all of them except for one. I wasn't able to acquire the Bill Evans album, Everyone Digs Bill. But I'm not too worried about that because since it's on Craft Records, I'm pretty sure they're going to come out with a stereo version of that album pretty soon. The record store day was a mono version, but none of the record stores that I went to, and I went to 2 in my area looking for it, but I was able to find the other albums that I wanted and actually even a few others. Let me go ahead and start and show you what I got on Record Store Day 2024. The first album I purchased, I really wanted to get this on vinyl, but they had sold out of it. This is Eric Carr as album, Unfinished Business. Of course, everyone knows he's a drummer for Kiss, and of course, I've seen this guy in concert when he was with Kiss many times. Great drummer, and so I'm excited for this. I picked up the CD because they didn't have any of the vinyl left, and I really wanted to get this, so I did pick it up on CD. So really excited for this album. The next album I was able to get was one that I did have on my list that I really wanted to get, was the Grateful Dead Nightfall of Diamonds. This was a live recording that was done back in 1989. It's a 4 album, 180 gram album. The 8th side is a special etching. I don't know what it is because I haven't had a chance to open it yet, but I will open it, and in a future video I'll share that with you. But really excited for this album. I was excited to get this. This was on my list of ones that I really wanted to get, and so I was really excited to get that. There's quite a lot of songs on here that I don't know that I have on vinyl, and so I'm excited to get this and listen to it. The next album I was able to acquire was one that I was after and wanting to get, was The Doors live in Stockholm. I don't know if I can pronounce this word correct, but they were live at Concertfest. I'm sure I'm not saying that right. But anyway, this album was one that was on my list, and I'm excited to get this and excited to listen to it. It indicates that Bernie Grundman cut the lacquers, and so hopeful that this has a good sound to it. I'll open it up and share with you what I think, but anyway, this is on my list, and I'm glad I was able to acquire it. Another album I picked up that wasn't planning on picking up, but I'm glad that I did, was the Talking Heads live. I never did see the Talking Heads in concert, but I do like their music. I've got 2 or 3 of their albums, and so I really wanted to hear this to see what it sounds like. Hopefully to get this on my turntable soon and listen to it. Excited to hear this. The Talking Heads live, 1977. The next album was on my list, and it's Jim Croce's Live, The Final Tour. I love Jim Croce's music. Never had an opportunity to see this guy in concert either. Actually, he passed away long before I was really able to go see a concert. So, but love his music. His music is absolutely timeless. In my opinion, I have quite a few of his albums. There's not that many, but I have a few of his albums, and they are really, really good. Excited to listen to this. Music is absolutely timeless. This is a fun album. I have the original, the first soundtrack on vinyl from the movie Dazed and Confused. This is called Even More Dazed and Confused. They found your stash again. Have you not seen the movie? You got to see it. It's a funny movie, great movie. Watch this one, Dazed and Confused. And the musicians, the groups on here, and the songs are phenomenal. They're all hits. It's just great music. Even More Dazed and Confused. Glad to grab that one. Alan Parsons' project, Pyramid. This one is called A Work in Progress. I have the original Pyramid that came out just not too long ago, but really wanted to snag this and listen to it and see what it was all about. See what they've got on here. I think this is kind of a neat little thing that they've got here for the album cover, kind of the notes about it. I'm sure off their tapes that they were that they were doing and working on at the time. Anyway, excited to listen to that. Glad I got that one picked up. And then I couldn't resist. This wasn't on my list because I believe I've got this already. But in fact, I've got a lot of Cheech and Chong's, but I couldn't resist. It was there in the bin. I snagged it. Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. Another, if you haven't seen the movie, you got to see it. These guys are classic. They're awesome. They're absolutely hilarious. All of Cheech and Chong's stuff is hilarious. They're still touring, I believe, I think. I know they were 4 or 5 years ago. We were able to see them. They're getting old. They're hilarious. These guys are absolutely hilarious. If you get an opportunity to see them, you really should do it because these guys are hilarious. Anyway, Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. Couldn't resist buying that one. One that was on my list was the Rolling Stones Live at the Racket, New York City. This album was recorded in 2023, and I believe it indicated there was only like 600 or 700 in attendance. I believe it was a private event that the Rolling Stones did. And so anyway, excited to hear this. Actually, here in about 2.5, 3 weeks, I'll be seeing the Rolling Stones live down in Las Vegas. Excited to go see that show. I've only saw the Rolling Stones one other time several years ago, and so I'm excited to see them again. And I realize they're getting up there in years, so I want to see them before any more of them pass away. But excited for this album and excited to listen to it. The album that I was actually most interested in for Record Store Day 2024 was Elton John Caribou. This is the 50th anniversary release of this album. It's one of my favorite Elton John albums. I love Elton John. I have always loved Elton John. This guy I have seen in concert. I probably couldn't count how many times I've seen this guy in concert. I saw him back in the 70s when he was absolutely unbelievably crazy through the 80s, 90s, 2000s. I think we saw him just not too long ago. I saw him a lot. I just really love Elton John and his music. He's got so many hits. This album contains a bunch. Pinky on the album, even though it's not a hit, is probably my favorite song on this album. The entire album is excellent. Pinball Wizard, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, The Bitch Is Back. Obviously, just one of his best albums, in my opinion. Great, great album. It was absolutely wonderful to see that in the bin, and I was able to buy that. I picked up 3 additional records that were not part of Record Store Day. And, you know, wanting to be Dad of the Year, I picked up Taylor Swift's The Tortured Poets Department album. My daughters absolutely love Taylor Swift. I haven't opened the album yet to listen to it. I'm excited to do that. I've actually been listening to a little bit of this album on Spotify, and I gotta be honest with you, it's not bad at all. It's really pretty good. I don't mind the music at all. Being an old guy, that's really not my type of music, but I gotta be honest with you, it's not bad. So I'm interested to see how this will sound. I also picked up the Grateful Dead, In the Dark. My original version of this album that I have is got a few snaps and crackles and pops on it, as it's been played quite a bit. So I saw this and couldn't resist and picked it up. So I'm excited to listen to that. And then I picked up the Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon 50th anniversary UV printed art on the clear vinyl. I've got the original that came out a few months back of the 50th anniversary. Actually been thinking about doing a Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon comparison with this and the original 50th anniversary that came out just a few months ago. I have an original Harvest pressing, US pressing of the album, and it's kind of got a few pops and stuff here because it's been played so doggone much. And then I've got a couple, 3 different SACD versions of it, a gold CD from Mobile Fidelity, and of course a Mobile Fidelity album, vinyl album that they did several years ago. That one, the Mobile Fidelity ones, that's probably the one I play the most when I listen to the album because I really think it's a good sounding album. The 30th anniversary version of it that I have sounds really good too. I've never done a comparison so I don't know, at least from my perspective, and got a new turntable. I really wonder how I would think and what I would think of the sound comparing all of these versions. So I might do that in the upcoming days. But anyway, I picked this album up while I was out on record store day shopping. Anyway, that's what I picked up. I had a great time. I spent a little bit more. Well, I spent a lot more money than I was planning on, but it was a good time. The two record stores that I went to that are local here to me, I'll put the names of them in the description below so that you can maybe take a look at their websites. But they didn't have big lines getting in, but they had good crowds inside the stores. Excellent a supply of records. Like I say, the only one that I really wasn't able to find was the Bill Evans. Everyone digs Bill Evans, but it's no big deal. I'll wait for it to come out on the stereo version. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in today. We got quite a few videos coming up with albums. I want to be talking about Pablo Records and the new acoustic sounds, analog production series that they're doing. I've got the first one. I want to share that with you and give you my thoughts on it. We've got some Atlantic 75 and analog productions coming down the pike here in the next couple of weeks. Also, there's a new Mobile Fidelity Bruce Springsteen one step that's out. I'll be talking about that. So we got a lot of stuff coming out. If you like what you see, please subscribe and like the video. And most importantly, as always, please leave your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you got on Record Store Day. Let me know what you think about the ones that I picked up. Thank you so much for watching today. Have a great day.